Hey lovelies, welcome back to the channel. So currently, with everything going on in the world right now, I feel it's very necessary to detach, unwind, and just not get wrapped up in everything 24/7. If you've been doom scrolling for a while and you need a bit of a break, this video is for you. I've been using my time to just mindfully stay in the moment, crafting, painting, and making waist beads. Waist beads help to keep me grounded. I've come up with a design I haven't seen before. If you have, let me know in the comment section, but I did search around after I made them, and I want to share it with you. So not these beads right here, these are a regular set, so I'm showing you these as regular 3mm beads. I want to show you that compared to the ones that I did make. I was messing around with some Valentine colors and I came up with this design here. You see they're not much thicker than the regular waist beads, so if you are thinking of a nicer design, a cute design, see they're not too much thicker. I've decided to call them rope clusters, and that's for the obvious reason. They're clusters of waist beads on a rope, and they do look like the nerd candies. So as I'm making these, I've also made them in a rainbow color, so I'd say this is more like a bubble gum, catered more to Valentine's, maybe like bubblegum sweetheart waist bead clusters. And then these are my rainbow clusters. And then I started experimenting with some crystal waist beads on elastic. I'm not really liking how these are coming out as much, so I've stopped here. So if you want to see how I made these, stay tuned. For this set, I'm going with blue. A little bit of purple. Alright, so for this design, you're going to need the beads of your choice. You're going to need some thread. For this, I'm using Aunt Lydia's crochet thread. This is my favorite thread to make my waist beads. You're going to need 2 needles, preferably around the same size. If not the same size, at least the same shape. You don't want a hook needle and a straight needle. It's just going to get a bit confusing. You're going to measure your waist wherever you want the waist beads to sit, and then you'll add at least 5 to 7 more inches onto that. You want to be really careful. You can go maybe 10 inches more. You're going to need some extra length to your rope, more than what you would need when you make regular waist beads for your waist. So now first you want to make sure all of your ends line up. So these are the tips of all of them. You can either put a clasp, you can either put a clip on the end or just do a simple slip knot. Give enough room for you to tie. So I'd put the knot maybe here, about 3-4 inches down, and then do that slip knot. So you'll have enough room to tie on this end, and this is where your beads are gonna start. Your design will start here, and then you have your 2 strings. If you do need help measuring yourself and threading your needle, refer to this video I'm gonna link right here, so you'll be able to watch that and get caught up to this stage. So in that video I showed you how to layer it so you have 4 strings to make your waist beads. In this video, you're going to have two. So instead of having one needle, you're going to have two needles, but it's the same amount of string you'll be using. And we don't want any more than that, just because how we're doing this design, we're going to have points where we're going to put one. I'll show you. So the reason why we don't want to do more than two on each string is because we're going to be putting it through like this. So these 3mm beads can fit 4 comfortably, but any more than that it will be more difficult. So of course, imagine if you had 4 on each side, it would never go through here. So keep it simple. Now we're just starting the design here, so you're just going to start by threading on your first bead. Now you can do it randomly like I'm about to do, or you can choose to make a design. So we start with purple. I'm just going to choose a blue here, and I'll choose another type of blue here. 2 different shades of blue, and then we'll thread those down. So we're just going to do like a bricklayer method, just with the beads. Alright, so now we've done 1, with 2 here. We'll pick another bead. Let's go with this pink one. And that goes, both needles are going to go through the pink. And then we make it match down here. And then we bring it down to here. And then we don't really want too much string poking out. So when we do get to this point, we start to adjust it to where they cluster up and you see little to no string. If you wanted to, because Aunt Lydia's crochet thread comes in so many different colors, it would be a good idea to get the string to match the design that you want. So now we've done the one, we're going to separate our needles again and then put 2 more colors. So I ended up grabbing 2 purple. And honestly, I don't slide it down every single time. So I slide it to around maybe here, and then I'm going to put this together, grab another color, and put those, and then open it again. I got pink here, let's see, this blue. And then we're just going to keep doing the same thing, 2 in 1, open it, and then put it back together again. And then when I have a few, I then start to slide it down to meet up. Sliding it down in sections. And then and when you get to this part here, you cluster it, but you don't want it looking messy. So you just want to fiddle around with the 2 strings. Make sure you separate those strings so you can loosen it if needs be. Hold the strings down here taut as you adjust the beads to fit the cluster ever so nicely. There we go. And then just continue. So continue with another 2 colors. I just pick random colors, so we'll do 2, slide, put together, 1, open up, 2, And this is why I say both needles should be at least the same shape. These are the same size as well, but even if you had one that was longer than the other, it's fine. You could slide it in the first one and then it'll go through to the second. So we went to two, and we went to one. Now we're going to do two, and this is what I do once I get to this point. So I'm going to leave this off at 2, slide everything down to meet the others. So doing about 7 or 8 at a time makes it a little bit more manageable. And if these beads were all the same exact size, it would make a pattern, but since they are different shapes, it makes it more of a cluster, which is the design we're doing right now. So see, you have the 1 and then the 2 here. You're going to just grab this. So I have maybe about an inch, 2 inches here. So 2 inches worth of a cluster, and then going to go ahead and tie this. This is to keep everything neat, and also if your beads do snap at any time or for any reason, if your beads do snap, you won't have a ton of beads all over the place. They are going to be in sections. So about every 2 to 3 inches, you're just going to tie it. So I tie it once and then twice. So do double knot. And then put them back together again. And then this next bead is going to cover the knot. Then you go back, well, supposed to cover the knot, and then you go back to separating. Then you continue your design. So we could go to 2, 1. And I did see the white. I'm going to put a white one on here. The hole is a little smaller, so I wouldn't put that for a double, but I wanted to see if that would work. It is. It goes on. And scoot it along. I feel like it's giving that very berry look, and then I want to add one of these charms to it just because, let's see. So I'm just gonna put this through. It's cute. How does that look? I like it. Gonna add another 2. And then whenever you have the 2, you're gonna tie it. I think I'm going to add I did get these from Amazon, but I will be putting links under this video to Etsy sellers. So any bead sellers that I see having anything similar, I will make sure I'll link those down below. Use what you have. I would suggest doing that first, but if you do want to get some beads and you don't want to leave your house, some Etsy sellers will be listed in the bottom in the description. Okay, you can keep measuring yourself as you're going, but when it's long enough, you're just going to snip off these needles. Tie this into place. It doesn't need a slip knot, but you can put a slip knot if you want. There we go. So which combo do you like the most? That berry berry, the rainbow, or bubblegum? I think I like the one I've just made. Let me know in the comment section. You can get really creative with it, add some gemstones, just really go wild. And until next time, lovelies.